Away! Oh my goodness. There's a platform and everything.
Oh, so he appears from that one. All right.
What? Nairu's not with me?
Karun, you're taking my spot.
Wait, why is Rith here again? I don't.
You don't know.
Oh,
You
she's
don't know?
like. Yeah.
Yes, Karun. Yeah, like this is my bench. Actually, I have this entire piece. Actually, I have this place and then this. No.
And look at the
Yeah,
king.
this over here and this here.
So it's smart seeing Karun. You know,
take that.
I'm not to Karun.
Just stand for now.
The Prince just needs to teleport right to his spot.
Oh, it's a show off. Look at him. We're all
You don't
angely
teleport
and
in here,
floaty.
Oh, Prince Bishop.
Teleport in here.
Hey, Archmage.
He looks upwards at Riff.
Upwards.
Riff smiles.
You suddenly notice as you look up, Laurel, that there is 5 people on a platform above on benches.
They took the dragon with them too.
Dragon sits there, eats popcorn,
Oh,
looks
look at
down.
that smug-looking man.
Smug looking man. Beautiful woman.
I am the richest man in the universe.
And of course, everyone's favourite, the largest entry flash of light.
You know, I can outstage that light anytime.
Oh, Goro has so many papers with him.
He has like all
Yes,
the papers.
so as the Empress walks down it, gestures for Raphael to sit.
Raphael bows,
Sit first.
bows deeply, sits down.
On his little bench.
Yeah, on my little bench. He looks very uncomfortable sitting here. He like
Looking at
claps his
other
mandolin,
people.
like reaches out to pet Valendor.
Yes, be the man, Candy.
Does he like look over his shoulder at like Riff like, what's going on? I'm so
Yeah,
scared.
He's looking at all these very smug people for some reason. And there's a
Oh,
dragon.
wizards.
That's the dragon from the fort.
Yeah, I know. But why is he here? Is he like
The
sitting
dragon seems to fly and just like look from the space.
He's like eating popcorn, like sitting there.
The dragon has fun.
Well, maybe I thought maybe the dragon was one of them. Just like
Maybe he is there one of
Maybe,
them.
maybe
he's
he
not
is.
really a pet.
The Empress then gestures round at everyone and sits.
Strange. There's only 4 of us. Huh. Interesting.
Who said the other 4 are alive? The other
Everyone has a
ones are
whole
alive.
bench to
Who's,
themselves.
yeah, it's true. It says the other 5 are alive. Yeah.
Oh, Karun claimed the general's bench, huh?
General's not here.
Might as well. Even
There's one
space.
bench to try now, so.
The Council of 8 has been united.
Greetings and good morning to all of you. I hope you all slept well. The Empress looks around.
Oh, bows his head in response.
This meeting is slightly different. Firstly, we're welcoming our new lady mayor, Zoe Floros, who now rules the Northside district.
So he nods to the people around the table.
Laurel Arkenbrack now runs the Port District, which has changed from our last meeting, though most of you should know that.
Oh, that's as well.
And there are various changes going on throughout our system. I hope all of you, except for Zoe, has brought your papers.
Oh yeah.
Riff looks to the other presumable
Nope,
Arcanist.
none of them have papers up there.
No, okay,
They all
she's
have, like,
happier.
huge folders, and she's like, oh.
Oh no!
What is the dragon doing out there in nowhere?
He's
He's
just
kind of just
flying
flying.
around. He doesn't give a
Apparently
fuck.
he's been allowed to come.
He doesn't give a shit.
I don't know why he's lying around.
Maybe he's gonna here to testify. That would be.
I
So
like.
Did Raphael look at his? Did Raphael remember his papers?
Raphael is wearing his papers, if you know what I'm saying.
I like the idea that
well, the
Iris.
people-
Or
Well-
silk, maybe.
There are many things that I require discussing, so I have taken the liberty of summoning some of my magical advisors. As you can see, they are looking at us from up there. She points up.
Does Elrond seem to like them when he looks at them?
No.
Oh, he doesn't seem to like them.
Admittedly, it might just be because there's Rifflin's up there, but
Ah, yeah. He's like those guys. I'll be some of that platform so fast. All right, well,
disintegrate straight up.
sure.
Latest disjunction.
Elrond doesn't like him.
It would do nothing.
That's fine. Well, they're probably they're like the torture people.
What? What? No, we are
No one
not.
knows about them.
What? We do papers. That's it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Rift's been doing.
Sorceress doing papers.
But yes, the Empress looks around. So I want to have a look over all your military papers, and you understand, it's a time of war right now. We need to make sure the city's defences are as they can be. She starts looking over all the papers. How have things been going in your district? How have the population's been handling it? I want something here.
Well, all right. Recently, I mean, population in the foreign quarter has been declining. A huge decline recently. The orcs murdering everyone.
Money.
Other than that, it's been like it's mostly immigration, really. That one. So you know, the military there is doing well. Though we managed to actually, when the orcs attacked, we personally managed to fend off a large amount of them. By sparing a lot of the military forces. They're currently, however, being deployed in the Dock District to fight the Thieves Guild, while the Dock District forces, who are quite a lot significantly larger, have been deemed to be slightly corrupted, and so have been put to the foreign quarter, where they will not be interacting with dockside law for a while, until the issues with the Thieves Guild and their poison trade has been eradicated. And at the moment, as you know, I'm also under the command, having the command of a military garrison that also has been deemed to be worthy of basically being non-corrupted, and is doing very well actually in the eradication of this Thieves Guild. It might, however, take a month or two more before that is dealt with.
I see.
As such, there's minor decline in population in both the districts. Most, however, of the losses will be in street scum, who will do nothing but crime anyway. So.
Seem to listen to everyone else. You know, Colerain's population seems to be handling it decently well.
That's basically what they do there, like middle class people.
You know, they seem to be handling it well. The guards there, and seem quite quite happy. The Archmage says, with his limited resources he's had recently, it's been slightly difficult, but he has put together some mage squads to have sent out to the far reaches.
Mm-hmm.
The Guildmaster, he apparently has a large selection of military ships he's been building.
Oh, all right.
Which he gifts to the Empress.
This fucking guy. Here's 200,000 gold worth of ships. Take them, my Empress. Take them.
The king does not really have a military to speak of.
No.
He says.
Yeah, I have very little. Very little.
And the Prince Bishop has a bunch of crusaders who, with various causes.
Yeah, Goruma is like excited.
They are excited. To be precise, 274 war priests of Gorham have just been dispatched.
Captured ships and just sailed. Didn't care to wait. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Sure. There we go.
She looks over. So, as Lord Mayor, what do you think of the current state of the city's defences if something was to happen?
Oh,
We have a lot of people, but unfortunately, we've been growing faster than our defences can handle.
The recent orc attack showed quite dramatically that we are not ready to defend it. What we have. The lack of a wall outside is a major security risk. It is a grand project, but having a city wall would at least make such surprise attacks rather impossible.
Guildmaster speaks up. The issue is there are more people entering the city than we could build a city wall for. We'd outgrow it very quickly.
That is certainly true, however. As we currently have it, we would be sacrificing large amounts of the city and the population bases to basically defend the innermost parts of the city where there actually is a wall. Besides, as it is right now, a wall around the city would cut the lines for perhaps future districts outside of that wall as the city grows. And beyond that, it would also make detecting who enters and leaves the city a lot easier.
Empress looks around between everyone.
Oh, looks at Zoe. See what she thinks.
Zoe agrees with Laurel. A wall is needed.
It is a grand and pricey project. However, it can also bring a lot of work to the city by helping the economy in such a time as this.
Very well. I will consider this as a project that may need to be put in place.
Well, beyond that, it seems that recently there was a rather fierce beast, a hound of fire, rampaging through the docks district. That beast was left to basically rampage for a long time, and it seems that perhaps, he looks at the Archmage, we would need more focus on defensive and loyal magic users whom we could deploy in such a situation. If the city was to be magically attacked in some way, I fear don't have enough of a policing force for such rogue arcanists.
As it stands, I have plenty when it comes to various spellcasting squads that are designed to help clean up after magic and defend against it. The issue is there is no easy way to get them all moving around.
Perhaps more localized grants for the Lord Mayors to each develop a set of defensive units against such terror tactics as it is. Now that gunpowder and poison is being hunted down, our enemies will not stop attacking us. They will simply change their weapon. Magic seems to be something that is plentiful in the city, and certainly in these times of treachery.
I can tell you any magic being learned isn't being learned in one of my academies, at least for such purposes.
She said, No, I think not.
Prince Bishop speaks up. I have noticed an unusual amount of activity recently, though, when it comes to divine casters. There's been I have noticed recently a lot of people going in and out of various temples, especially those dedicated to magic itself. Far more than usual.
Riff's been doing it for like 6 months.
Is there a suspicion on it? Have you looked into it?
I've looked into it, though I can't find anything concrete yet to work with.
At the moment, I think, at least as Lord Mayor of the Docks, that any suspicious activity needs to be looked at. We do know that the Jade Guard is still on the loose. The people who have claimed responsibility for the orc attack.
The king speaks up.
Hmm.
The Jade Guard that were responsible for the orc attacks. I currently have what little amount of military force I have currently investigating them, and they have managed to track them to some kind of old place in the forest. Some kind of old abandoned manor they seem to be hiding in right now. The area is currently surrounded, and we were planning to assault it.
Well, if it is the forest in my district, I will offer my assistance in that regard.
Any help is appreciated. Such traitors cannot be allowed.
Yes, no, they cannot. It would be good to capture a few of them and see what their purpose behind their actions was. Perhaps they were associated with the guild I have been fighting so fiercely these last months. It does seem like the guild has fingers in everything in this city.
When you
After all, the old Lord Mayor was apparently a puppet of some sort.
The guild, are you talking about those that did
Thieves
the...
Guild.
Oh. What is the name of those we have been fighting to that left that body with the message?
Oh, the cult.
The cultist.
Yeah,
Well,
four horsemen
so So he looks up. There's also the matter of the cultist in Northside that left that body with a message.
Riff will look to Sirius and quietly say, "What should I do if I want to say something?"
He seems to just indicate, like, shh.
So he looks
She's
to the
not
Empress. I don't know if you heard of the message that was given.
Message.
Even though she told Zoe not to bring any papers, Zoe takes out some papers.
Oh, impressive.
A body was left, crucified between two houses. There was a message cut into the body saying, "Darkness fall upon those chooses to follow the past. Codex Imperium Vincari." She looks around.
Codex Imperium.
Well, next to the Prince Bishop. He was told, at least.
He knows. There has been a lot of these cultists. They seem to be following the word
Four Horsemen.
Four Horsemen. They have been threatening us with the Four Horsemen. There was given the plague to Northside, which we luckily dealt with as little casualties as we could make do with. But I don't like that it feels like that they're just being brushed aside, that people are just waiting for the next horseman to arrive.
Prince Bishop speaks up.
Hey, I'm talking, Prince Bishop.
I understand your concerns, Lady Floros. There are problems which we're having, and there's patterns which I've noticed arisen. We've had pestilence in your district. We have incoming famine with the farms doing so badly.
And a war is coming.
So where is death?
Death comes with war.
Or death comes last. I do not think, if this is a pattern, that death would be simply an effect of the others. It would be more pure.
I would just like to add, a poor woman was murdered in my district with this message. There was the area she was crucified needed to be desecrated, and no one seems to really care about it.
I care about it, Zoe Flores. I don't know if you've noticed. He slides some papers across the crystal desk to you.
So we will gracefully take it.
It seems to indicate about 17 squads of Inquisitors that have been sent out recently.
Mm-hmm.
To various locations that have been, just even rumored have a cult of some kind.
She looks to the Prince Bishop. Have anyone checked these places out?
That's what these squads have been designed for. So they're designed to try and track these down and stop them. They're causing a lot of issues for us.
I could take a look at it if you want.
You may look into it, though so far I don't know how well your people are proficient with it, and unfortunately, as we both know, only one person can only do so much.
So he smiles. I'll bring light to them, don't worry.
The Empress looks towards Zoe. There's certainly interesting information. I'm going to keep this in mind.
No one told her? Really?
I told the Prince Bishop, and Bishop said he handled it.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Oral looks to the Archmage, actually. It says, Archmage. Now, before this council, I would like to, and from the council itself, I would like to request further aid in, perhaps even magical aid, in tracking down the leader or leaders of this thieves' guild. I have only been able to nab their lieutenants and their lower people. It seems to be a pyramid scheme. It's very hard to follow upwards. If anyone has any information about it, that would be very helpful. I hope I can stomp down.
I can give you what I have, but I've been trying to track them down for years.
So anything would be helpful, I'm sure. I think we should make this a priority, my Empress. With these gone, and all the terror and weapons they've been selling to insurgents, it should stabilize the city quite a bit.
Looks towards the Archmage, trying to intimidate him clearly. He just nods, giving a gaze back at the Empress. Right, I see. Hand me all the papers I requested.
Well, we do, I assume.
Various people slide their papers across.
Do you want us to know what we've been doing for the last weeks?
As you scroll through them. In addition, I have some good news and some drastic news. Which should I put into place?
Yay.
The good news, as all of you as Lord Mayors are going to be receiving a 5,000 gold bonus to your treasuries.
Oh,
Fuckers.
I don't get anything.
What?
It's not to us, it's to the treasury.
To the treasuries.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Now, for the drastic news, I've decided to set up my defence project to go on to quicker than I originally expected. All of you, in addition, will be, by Imperial order, our construction project will be begun in each of your districts, constructing a runestone. which I will be using to help you to create something to help defend the city against all of these issues you brought up. My runes, looking upwards sternly, she does.
It's not like I felt
All of you are ordered to help your relevant districts with your construction.
Riff nods.
Advise them on various things and do as you will. You will all be given papers for this.
Oh, nonsense. What will be the effect of these runes? Will they be locally activated?
When finished, they will initially just be linked together to a hub inside the palace, which would allow me to activate them all at once. Though, in theory, if I fully complete this project, even you as Lord Mayor should be able to put up individual barriers to block entry or leaving out of a district, a perfect quarantine as it is. Also, to be able to put certain effects into place to prevent various magics from running.
Not ways to stop magic and entry would certainly solve some of the problems of the city.
It is going to be quite the large project and will take quite a long time to complete. But every step we take towards it is a few days earlier that we can call the city safe.
Well, not.
Now, I have one final piece of news to give all of you. I am heading off to war.
Unfortunately.
There are things that require my attention, so I will be going off and do it. In the meantime, there will be no council meetings. By the time I get back, in approximately 2 months, I expect to see these initial runestones constructed, and I expect to see your districts doing well with all the things you've given me. I still may contact you while I'm in the field. Remember this.
Please do.
By all means.
Council dismissed. She clicks her fingers and vanishes.
Uh-oh.
So he breathes out.
And Laurel misses Stonehammer. He usually talks to Stonehammer now. Stonehammer.
Oh, Stonehammer.
Raphael
At
getting
least I
pounced
got
by a pair of
power.
cats.
Stonehammer.
No, Stonehammer.
Raphael looks to Valandor and Calendor.
So he looks to the Prince Bishop.
Valinor and Calendor look upwards at all the people up there.
Who's
Sort
the
of-
smug-looking man? Look at him.
Riff will be asking. We'll want to talk to them, but I think Time wants to say something.
So looks to Prince Bishop. How is Stonehammer?
He's doing quite well. Though even though I advised him not to, he even left my tower yesterday to go off to some event. Didn't tell me anything about it.
What?
This happened a few days ago.
What? He was at the what?
He was
I
at the
didn't see him.
ball.
Stonehammer was at the thing?
Yeah.
Stonehammer.
Aw.
Why
I
did he
collapsed on
come?
the way.
He should have come to one of us. Like,
He
Friggin' find him in
came
the
back. He came back
gutter.
the next morning. It was clear he'd been drunk something though.
So he
Just-
smiles.
did it smell like
Oh.
alchemy?
It seems he's getting better then.
Raphael smiles as well.
Man,
His wounds are still
what a
closed.
rogue.
I know.
What did you say, Dark?
His wounds are still closing worryingly slowly, though.
Well, if you ever need help in healing, I'll always be there.
Maybe he was one of the Tiamat.
And she looks at him. Well, I already told you that, so I suppose there's no need.
I don't know the Stonehammer clan's rather big. They could get 5 people.
The bishop gets up. Now, I need to, I have business I need to attend to quickly. I hope you all have a good day.
Oh, nice. Does the King, Guildmaster, and Archmage just sort of sit and hang out?
King walks off in a grump.
Not good. What a dick. Yeah, good riddance.
What? He leaves too?
Yes.
He's got much work. Like, he got his budget slashed. The Northside took all his money, and now he's got, like, to build a barrier, and these guys are stepping all over his turf, and he's being accused of making rogue mages, and now I want help. Oh, God. He doesn't even know what to do.
Valandor looks towards you.
Raphael looks to Valandor. Yes.
Would you like me to fetch your friend from up there? Looks up at Riffland.
I guess so. Why not?
Oh, I'm kind of scandalized at Raphael.
You notice Valandor comes in on the platform and dives off.
Woohoo!
And seems to begin flying. Not very gracefully, but begins flying.
So he looks to Karun and curtsies and thank you from yesterday. It was nice.
Yesterday was just election day.
Well, yesterday. That's
Damn!
true. Thanks for the masquerade.
Congratulations.
And that was no problem. I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. I hope you enjoyed it too.
Valandor seemed to flick his tail, indicating you to get on.
Riff looks at Velendor, looks at Volraxmus and Sirius and shrugs and says, I guess I'll talk to
They
you.
seem to be talking to each other in Draconic right now.
She shrugs and says, I guess I'll talk to you later. And hops on to Velendor.
Valandor just jumps off.
Yeah, fair enough. You know, she
Hold on tight, crash into the ground.
was on a dragon. She's used to it now.
Raphael spins around, looks at Riff. So, first Imperial meeting. How do you feel?
Riff nods and says, pretty pointless. I think she could have probably just sent us the messages and said this is your job. I felt like I just wasted a few hours of my life.
Raphael waves and don't be such a bore. You sound like Laurel.
Did Karun enjoy masquerade?
He did. Quite a lot.
Oh, cool.
Well, there's a location of a runestone to find.
He looks to Riff. What about this runestone I keep hearing about?
Riff smiles and says, do you remember me telling you about the Imperial fort and its defences?
He looks around. No, I absolutely do not.
The giant barrier that are in a lot of
You have the
folktales.
familiar smell of acid.
Riff smiles and looks to Sirius and says, if I'm not mistaken, these runestones I'm guessing she wants is for something similar to the fort.
Yes, it is actually a barrier that's near identical. However, the scale of it is so huge that any attempt I can see is not going to work easily.
Riff nods and says, yes, we'd need to tap into some magical ley lines, wouldn't we?
She'd have to tap into something much greater than that to power this. I can't say what.
She nods. Says, yes, it's troubling. She goes to pet Volraxmus.
He lets you pet him.
Yeah. She smiles. She's happy with that. And she looks to Raphael and says, yes, from what I gather, it's basically a giant bubble.
You don't say.
She nods. Says, they're impervious to move through, and, well, pretty much anything to move through. So, siege weapons, people.
Teleportation does not function through it. There's much stuff that will not work when it bounds.
Raphael scratches his head. I'm not sure I understand, but if you say so. He bows his head to
So you're
Sirius.
you're that first Imperial consort.
He smiles. Oh, well, you say the nicest things.
Riff smiles.
And I do believe that you are that magnificent mage I've heard so much about.
Well, I like your way of talking at least. Yes.
Raphael aims to please. He makes a...
You clearly do. Gestures to the bench.
he bows towards him.
So he looks disgusted.
Raphael's getting on with the old man. It's fine.
So he still looks disgusted.
Hello, Lady Mayor. I will be taking my leave now, but I hope you all have a good day.
Riff nods and says goodbye, I guess.
Raphael bows to him as he goes off, and then turns to Zoe. If you need my help with anything in the district, setting up the rune or anything, I don't suppose I know what to actually do, but you know, if you need any help, please do tell.
Sure. As long as you keep your promise to never, ever flirt with me.
He sort of goes through his mind, just trying to find the promise, but he nods.
When he tried to kiss her hand.
Oh well, that was just it didn't mean anything. Anyway, he will wave it away.
It
Of
still
course, of
counts.
course.
Never, ever. And she really points at you. Flirt with me.
He looks sad. Of course.
The dragon looks at all of you with a knowing look.
She nods.
Riff smiles. Riff smiles at Valraxmus and says, "You know, you can always come and visit." She smiles.
Raphael looks at the dragon. His eyes sort of narrow a little bit and says, "Do you dance?"
You notice the expressions seem to pause.
His jaw hangs open. Huh?
Shrinks.
You're muted.
If he's good, he might be able to turn into a person.
He's neutral.
Turns into a force. Raphael smiles at him. Well, you are certainly welcome to the dance hall. If you ever want to, I don't know, dance with someone, or maybe just perch on one of the nooks. I'm not sure what dragons do. I'm sorry.
It nods with a very wide smile.
Raphael feels like he has insulted this creature, but he doesn't really know how to speak to it. He's gonna, like, breathe rainbows.
No. Just walk up to him and seems to just look at you. Intently.
Raphael looks back, laughing like, well, I suppose I should be off. So, grimaces. Looks at Riff. Oh, yeah, again, if you need anything.
Riff smiles and nods and says, "Of course."
I doubt Raphael really can do anything about the whole crystal thing, though.
No. More like, oh no, there is a mob of gangsters sitting at the place. We want to build the thing. We need to get them out. Then you can help.
I mean, the optimal location for it, I'm sure Rithlin would agree, would be under the Silver Crow.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think
Should
Riff.
put a name to that, right?
I'm not sure
Right.
if Riff is the.
Raphael thinks you should.
Hey, I don't know where
Raphael
Riff is
would
being
agree.
told to work.
And,
You know,
fade.
fade away.